joining us today for this webinar about Gimmie and how to get your course guide ready for this season. The webinar now at 9 o'clock is primarily for the club management part of your golf clubs. And in 1 hour, we have one that is more focused on the greenkeeper part of this. I know that a lot of you have signed up for both, which is perfectly fine. And we're happy to see you at the greenkeeper webinar as well in 1 hour. But in this part, we'll focus on the benefits and how you as a club work with your course guide for the season, and not so much with how you actually do the measurements. With me today, I have Kasper, who will take over the slides in a minute and tell you a little more about the course guide and what benefits you have from all of the printed products you can get through the Golfer platform. And we also have Jeppe. Jeppe, say hi for a second. And we also have Troels somewhere on the meet. He's there, at least on my screen. Troels and Jeppe are our primary team on the customer success. So a lot of you will talk with them when you have questions or have your course guide set up for the season. So just to let you know, they're here as well for questions. If you have any questions during the webinar, you are very welcome to ask them in the chat in the bottom right of your Google Meet. There's a little message icon where you can write any question you want. Please, if it doesn't say in your Google name, please tell us which club you're from and then write your question. We will try to answer directly in the chat also while, for example, Kasper is talking. And then we can take more advanced questions after. We have good time for that. But I think that's it for my introduction. I will send the torch over to Kasper, who will tell you a little more about your course guide and the benefits in Golfer Business.
Mange tak. Som Jakob sagde, så vil jeg forsøge mig på et eller andet sted mellem dansk og norsk, så vi kan se, om I kan forstå det også. Det tænker jeg ikke er noget problem. Jeg skal lige dele denne skærmen her. Perfekt. Jamen, velkommen til alle sammen, og tusind mange tak for at deltage på dette webinar. Vi skal snakke en lille smule om Gimmie her til at starte med, bare for at få alle refreshed på, hvad det kan hjælpe jer med. Og ideen med Gimmie-appen er jo, at dette året skal være the one app to rule them all i Norge. Så det kommer til at være den appen, hvor alle norske golfspillere laster ned på telefonen, og de kan booke tid på banen, og de kan spille med en digital baneguide og føre scorekort og alle disse ting, som vi gerne skal have til at fungere i løbet af sæsonen. Inde i Gimmie, der ligger der jo en digital baneguide på alle baner i hele Norge, og der ligger faktisk en digital baneguide på alle baner i hele Europa. Så jeres spillere, når de er i Spanien på ferie, jamen der kan de også bruge Gimmie-appen til at spille med den digitale baneguide og føre deres scorekort. Så inde i Gimmie-appen har I alle adgang til den her digitale baneguide, og den ligger i nogle forskellige formater, og det vender vi tilbage til lige om lidt. Når man åbner op Gimmie-appen, der logger man ind med sit golf-ID, og så ender man automatisk på din egen klubs hjemmeside i Gimmie-appen. Så Gimmie kommer til at fungere som jeres egen klub-app. Så man kommer ind på forsiden, kan se klubbens logo, kan se de billeder, som I selv har valgt at lægge ind, så man kan vælge et flot billede, som præsenterer klub-appen bra. Og nu kan I kommunikere med alle jeres medlemmer direkte på frontscreen af deres mobiltelefon. Så I kan lave banestatus i Gimmie og sende den ud som push-notice på alle medlemmernes telefoner. Og det har vi vist i et tidligere webinar. Det er bare for at huske jer på, at det er en mulighed. I kan også lave klubnyheder i Gimmie, og alle de klubnyheder, I laver, de kommer til at ligge i bunden af den startskærm, man ser, så man ser den seneste nyhed fra klubben først, og der kommer det som et mixed feed af nyheder fra Norsk Golf.no og klubnyheder inde i Gimmie-appen. Der ligger tea time booking i Gimmie-appen også, og så ligger der selvfølgelig den her digitale baneguide, som er det, vi skal snakke videre om nu. Den digitale baneguide er en GPS-baneguide, hvor man kan trykke et hvilket som helst sted på skærmen og få at vide præcist, hvor langt man har til en bunker, hvor langt man har hen over en sø, og hvor langt man har til grinen. Og I kan endda i den digitale baneguide lægge ind dagens pinposition i Gimmie-appen, så jeres medlemmer kan få den eksakte distance til flokket, og ikke bare til front green eller midten af greenen. Man kan føre scorekort, mens man spiller med den digitale båndguide. Der er 2 forskellige versioner. Der er noget, vi kalder simple scoring, og der er noget, vi kalder shot tracking. Simple scoring, det er ganske enkelt, når man går fra det ene hul til det næste, der kommer der en pop-up frem, at man skal fortælle, hvor mange slag man har lavet, og den antager, at man har lavet 2 point. At det ikke er tilfældet, kan man scrolle op eller ned og få flere eller færre slag på sit scorekort. Der er shot tracking versionen også, hvor man med det lille plus, I kan se i bunden af højre side af telefonen, kan trykke hver gang man har slået et slag på banen, og der vil det blive registreret med GPS, hvor på banen man var, da man slog slaget. Og så kan man faktisk, om man gør det hele vejen rundt på runden, når man er færdig med at spille sin runde, der kan man faktisk få en tracking af præcis, hvor man har været på banen, og man får endda med nogle statistikker på, hvor mange fairways har jeg ramt, hvor mange greens har jeg ramt, og hvor mange pots har jeg haft på runden. Jeg ville blive vældig deprimeret, om jeg skulle gøre det, men kanskje I er bedre til golf end jeg, og så kan det være en ganske fin feature. Perfekt. Den digitale båndguide, den ligger på alle baner i hele Europa og alle baner i hele Norge. De, som ikke har en Golf for Business løsning, har den grafik, I ser længst ude til venstre, som vi kalder Golf for Basic, hvor alle de nødvendige elementer på banen bliver registreret. Der er, hvor er teestætterne, hvor er der fairway, hvor der er greens, og hvor er bunkers og vand og den slags ting på banen. Om man har en Golf for Business løsning, som langt de fleste af jer har, der har man en af de 3 midterste versioner af båndguiden. Vores 2D Classic, vores 3D Classic eller vores 3D Scandinavia, alt efter hvad man har valgt for en grafik på sin båndguide. Helt ude til højre, der har vi vores Golf for Premium, som jeg tror 6 norske klubber har valgt nu. Den kan man ikke få i Gimmie-appen, det er bare et printet produkt, men det er også noget, som er en mulighed at få til den printede båndguide eller til printede T-signs. Den grafik, I vælger og benytter jer af, den har I tilgængelig til mange forskellige ting. Og I har blandt andet udover den digitale båndguide adgang til printede båndguides, hvor vores kundeservice kan hjælpe dere med at gøre klar en printet båndguide til sæsonen, så den er præcis som I gerne vil have med den rigtige forside, lokale regler, jeres sponsorer og andre ting. Vi har 2 ulike formater på båndguiden. Den vi kalder booklet, som er den I ser på venstre side af skærmen, og den som vi kalder flip over, som er den I ser på højre side af skærmen. Den man vælger, kan man så bestille via en trykker her i Danmark, som har vældig fine priser på båndguider. Til eksempel, om man bestiller 500 bookletbaneguides, jamen der koster de cirka 5 danske kroner per styk, så det er ikke mere end 20 norske kroner, som det ser ud i dag. Men I kan bestille så mange eller så få I ønsker, og få dem leveret direkte. I har en prisliste, som I kan få for os, og så kan I bestille dem, I måtte ønske. I har også mulighed for at putte ind jeres egne sponsorer i båndguiden, og det gælder både den digitale båndguide, men også den printede versionen. Og jeg vil jo slå et stort slag for, at man tænker nye tanker omkring sponsorerne i Gimmie-appen i den digitale båndguide, så man får lavet en klub-app sponsor, om man vil, så man kan lægge ind hver gang, der bliver startet en runde i den digitale båndguide. Vi stiler stort og håber, at næsten alle norske golfspillere skal laste ned Gimmie-appen, og vi får promoveret den digitale båndguide, så der vil blive spillet rigtig, rigtig mange runder. Og så tænk en gang, om hver gang, der bliver spillet en runde på jeres bane, at der kommer frem, velkommen til, lad os sige, Tjørme Golfklub, denne runde er præsenteret af, og så jeres klub-app, jeres Gimmie-sponsor. Der tror jeg, I kan tjene ganske mange penge på at sælge sponsorater i jeres egen båndguide. Man kan som sagt få sponsoraterne både i Gimmie-appen og i den printede båndguide, og vi skal nok hjælpe med at få det ind, og I kan også selv gøre det fra Golf for Business. På hvert hul i båndguiden kan man lægge ind en hulsponsor, som I kanskje husker det fra jeres skilte på banen. Der kan det være, at når man går og kommer til hul 2, at der kommer en lille banner ned fra toppen, som I ser, den Lexus-mærke, der er på den midterste telefon. Den bliver vist i 5 sekunder, og der forsvinder den igen. Man kunne også lave en helsidig reklame for restauranten på hul 17. Husk at bestille din menu, der er den klar, når runden er slut. Det kunne være et aktivt link til restaurantens hjemmeside eller andre muligheder. Spørg vores kundeservice for flere informationer om, hvordan man sætter op dette. Ja, det var vist fint for sponsoraterne. En anden mulighed, som I har, det er, at I kan lave en kopi af den regulære barnguide, den I har normalt. Både digitalt, men også printet. Så om I har et event, en company day eller andre ting i klubben, jamen der kan I faktisk lave en specifik barnguide bare til denne ene dag. Så man kan lægge ind en anden forside end normalt. Man kan lægge ind dagens program på side 2, og man kunne have den samme sponsor på alle hullerne. Det kunne også være, at man havde nærmest flagget på hul 7. Jamen der kunne der komme en fullpager. Husk, at på dette hullet har vi nærmest flagget i dag, og vi spiller om denne præmie fra vores sponsor. Det er det fine ved en digital barnguide, det er, at det kan blive opdateret vældig snabbt, men I kan også få den lavet som en printet barnguide, men ellers kan man release den i Gimmie-appen bare den ene dag, så den dag, hvor man har det. Når I er i gang med at spise frokost på morgenen, der kan der ligge en QR-kode på bordet. Scan denne QR-kode og få den digitale barnguide, hvor I kan se dagens pinposition og se nogle ting fra vores sponsor på dagen. Ja. I har også adgang til oversigtskarter over banen, og det har I både digitalt i Gimmie-appen, så om I har en gunstart på banen, der kan spillerne faktisk se, hvor de er på banen, og hvor de skal hen og starte, så de går den rigtige vej. Men I kan også få det som et printet skilt til klubhuset, så I kan faktisk få en pdf, som I kan få trykt lokalt, og sætte op på første 10 eller på klubhuset, eller hvad som passer for dere. Det samme gælder, om I skal have nye tistedsskilte på et tidspunkt. Om I har en Golf for Business løsning, der ligger den samme grafik, som I har i Gimmie-appen, og som I har til printet barnguide, også klar til, at I kan lave T-signs på banen. Så det er bare at tage fat i os. Det er en del af Golf for Business-pakken. Der tror jeg vil sende stafetten tilbage til Jakob, og jeg skal også nok blive hængende, om der er spørgsmål til noget på denne delen. Men ellers så vil Jakob gå lidt mere i detalje i Golf for Business, hvordan man sætter op barnguiden.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Kasper. I will go back to English because I'm a little more comfortable there than mixed Danish and Norwegian. So again, if you have any questions, you can ask them now directly in the chat, or we can take them after one-on-one if you need it, or anything more or less goes. So as Kasper mentioned, now I will just show you a few of the things we would like you to think about and how to do them in Golf for Business. I will start off by showing a couple of things that you could start looking at if you are only what we would call a business light user of it, so what everyone has access to, and then some of the things that are only available if you buy the whole Golf for Business pack. But the first and most important thing, and what we're talking about in this webinar, is making sure that your course guide is ready for the season, no matter if you're a business light or a business user of Golfer. So I will share my screen. Share now. There, and share that entire screen. See. So this is what your home screen in Golf for Business should look like if you are a business light user. This means that you have limited access, but you have access to some of the important things that set up your Gimmie app. In the left, you have your main menu, and some of the things that are good to just check before the season starts is that your information is correct. Most of that is found under Club in the main menu and Information and Club app. Let's just look at information quickly. In here, there are a lot of details that go directly into the Gimmie app. So as soon as you update anything in here, it goes into Gimmie. That could be your address or contact information. Make sure that's right, because if people visit you in the Gimmie app and your email is not right or your phone number, something goes wrong. We also have your description, which is a text description of your club that primarily guests can read in the Gimmie app to see what kind of club is this. I need to know something about them. So make sure this is a inspiring text to make sure that people want to visit you as a golf club. And of course, your local rules are in here as well. So if you changed something since last year or didn't add them last year, we really recommend that you go in and do that. Just check that everything is set up the way it should be. Let me show quickly how, let me take Club App first. Go in here. We also have that main point. There are two things you can update under Club App if you're not a business customer. You can set your teaser text, which is a little, a teaser about your club. And you can change the logo of your club for the app specifically. This is the logo that will show in lists if people search for you and in the front page of your Gimmie app. And let me try showing what it looks like. You should be able to see my phone here. Let's put it right in the center. So this is what the Gimmie app looks like. You probably know this already, but just to show you where everything is, of course, this is the front page. And now I am a member at Fana Golf Club. So when I open up the app, I see the latest news, a mix from Fana and from Norsk Golf. I have the image up here directly from Fana's gallery inside Golf for Business out here. I can show you that in a second. I have the quick links, which are links from the Gimmie app to Fana's website or whatever website they want. This is something that only business customers can set up. I will show that a little later. And of course, the club logo in the top up here. If I click Besøg Klub, I come into the page that has all of those details that I just talked about. A little down here, we see there are some news from Fana. And we have, of course, the map where the location and everything is important. And down here at the bottom, we have the local rules and stuff like that, for example. So these are the information that you update directly from Golf for Business. And this is why it's important that you keep them updated. We, unfortunately, don't have any other means of taking them from your website or something like that. So if you change them on your website, make sure to remember to also update them in Gimmie. Okay, one last thing to check is just that you have some good images in your gallery. We could see that Fana has chosen at least one really nice image. I think there are some more in their gallery, and the app will take them randomly to make the app look good. But just make sure that under gallery, you have some good pictures from your golf club. It just makes Gimmie look so much better. Okay, those are the details you can change as a business light customer and or user. A good way to check that your course guide is set up correctly is simply starting it inside Gimmie. So what you do to start a course guide, you scroll down on your club page, which looks like this. Select the course you have. In Fana Golf Club's case, it's called Baneguide, the one I have here in orange. I click on that. In here, I get some more details. There's a calculation of playing handicap, and I have local rules ready for this specific course. I have a course description that can be updated. But the easiest way to check if the course itself and the scorecard is set up is simply clicking Spil med Baneguide. Click here in the center. Gimmie will automatically download your course guide. I had Fana's already, so it was fast. If you didn't have your course guide downloaded, the purple play button would be a loading spinner first. And simply click play directly on that purple spinner. And in here, you can see your entire course guide. And the way it looks, of course, depends on what level of golfer you have for Gimmie. As Casper presented, some of you will be basic, so just a simple mapping of your course. Some of you have what Fana have here, which is our classic 2D in a pro mapping where all of the penalty areas, out of bounds, everything is mapped. And some of you will even have 3D. So it will look a little different, but the basic of it is the same. In the course guide, simply check that. If you remember that in November, you made a new bunker or you moved a tee or something like that, go through every hole in the course guide and check that it is set up the way it should. If it's not, contact us. That's the simplest way to do it. So simply skip by the holes on the arrow here to the right. It'll show you every hole. You can go in, you can zoom in to check where is everything on the course. Did we remove that bunker? The new lake you made, is that there? And everything. In the bottom left, you see a button for the scorecard. You can click that to see your full scorecard the way we have it in Gimmie. So if you, for example, changed your handicap index on the holes because you changed the tees or whatever, check in here that those numbers are correct. Usually the par doesn't change, but if you made bigger changes on your course, check that as well. So you can see all of the details directly in the scorecard in here. If you don't see all of the information I have here on my view, in the top right, you have this little icon, which is 2 arrows pointing towards 2 lines. If you see that, what we call the collapsed view, which is this with more or less no info, the icon changed. As you see, you will see 2 arrows pointing out, and that will expand the scorecard. So you can actually see the par and the handicap that we have. It varies a little how Gimmie starts based on how you used it before. Okay, let's jump back to the course guide. So yeah, basically run through all 18 holes and just check that everything is set up the way it should be. Of course, if you are a customer and have sponsors in here, you also see them showing up every time I switch hole. Here on hole 9, it's Porsche at Fana. Check that that is also correct. You can check that directly in the app. Okay, that was something directly from the app. Now I will jump over to Golf for Business, the Pro Edition, so just to see what it looks like if you actually have access to that. And that's here. So the main menu, of course, gets a little bigger. I'm logged in as admin, so I have a couple of extra as well, but ignore that. The details that I just checked inside the Gimmie app, of course, business customers can check that directly in the admin module as well. We recommend that you go into courses, select your primary course or all of your courses, basically. Go in here, and in here you can click a button called Manage All Holes. This gives you a complete overview of the scorecard for this course. So this is an easy way for business users to check if everything is correct currently. The absolute easiest way is just to check if all of the total distances down here are the right numbers. Then everything is probably in check with where your tees are and your handicap and your pars, of course. The system automatically does some checking if everything is correct. So if you, for example, let's just do it here. If you had 2 handicap keys that were the same, which is an error, you will get a notification down here. If your course is set up very specifically and that's the right thing to do, you can change it to that and save it. But the system will kind of highlight it for you if something looks off. Yep, and you can edit the data directly in here. To check if all of the mapping is right, you can see the small images down here. Again, this is only for business users and customers. You can also click in on a specific image just to see it a little larger and go through next up here. So this is the alternative to flipping through it in Gimmie. The difference from here and in Gimmie, in the images here, you don't see exactly where we have placed the tees currently. So if you move some of your tees, it's easiest to actually check this directly in Gimmie where they are on those 5 tee locations, if some of them have moved around. In here, you can also change the handicap and par of this hole directly. You can set up a pro guideline, change the distances and stuff like that. So you have multiple ways of doing this. To check if your sponsors are set up correctly, simply go into promotion in the left, click sponsor setups, and take the setup that is currently active on your course. Most of you will only have what we call the sponsor setup, have one of those for your primary course. Let's just see if 9 holes here has some sponsors. And in here, I can see that Menu is sponsor on hole 1. They have a banner, a full page. And then Coca-Cola is here, Danske Bank on the next one, then a burger image for the restaurant, and so on and so forth. So just check that all of these details are correct in your current setup. If they're not, you can change them directly in here. We have a lot of good tutorials on how to do that. And if something isn't working out for you or you have some questions, just please write us at support.b2b@golfer.com. we will help you. And Troels and Jeppe is ready to do that. You can find our support and our tutorials and stuff simply by in the bottom left down here, clicking the support and going to the support center directly. This will give you all of our little videos on how to do things and small tutorials on how to accomplish a lot of different things in Golf for Business. So if you are sitting in a weekend or an evening where you can't reach our support, you can find all of the help you want in there directly. Okay. Yes, let's just go back here. So the important thing that we wanted to talk about today, and we are getting close to the end of the webinar. Let's find my slides. There. Kasper got all the way to the end, just to make sure that we got, yeah, so you got that email as well. So this is the email if you want to contact our support directly. We also have support@golfer.com, but that's primarily for players. And we have a faster response time on the email on the screen right now. So if you have something that you want to do fast or just want to make sure that it's prioritized, write to the B2B version of our support email. Then you will get like into the fast lane of support in our end. Okay, the main points today was just to make sure that your course guide is ready for the season. The easiest way to check this is simply opening up Gimmie and going through the course as it looks today. If you've made any changes, some of you can do it directly because you have Golf for Business. You can change that directly in the system, and your greenkeepers might know how to do that, or I will tell them in 30 minutes how they can make these changes directly on the course. And if it's something with sponsors or distance markers or anything else you want to set up, just contact us if we can help you do it. And if you don't have access to the full Golf for Business yet, please contact us and have a talk on prices and stuff like that. Kasper will set up a quick meeting and talk to you directly about stuff like that. Okay, I think that was more or less it. Do we have any open questions? I see that Ida already posted a link to gimmie.no/club where we will share the recording of this webinar. So if we don't have anything that we want to ask while I'm recording, at least I will stop the recording now, and that will be shared on gimmie.no. Kasper, Jeppe, Troels, and I will stay in this meet for almost as much time as you need. We have the next one at 10 o'clock, so we'll stop there at the latest. But we will stay here. If you have any questions, you can ask them directly on camera or in the chat if you want. I will say thank you to those who see this on video now, and thank you to everyone else as well. So I'll stop the recording now. Stop recording.